Hi, my name's Al, and today I'm going to show you how to get rid of this and go tubeless on a budget. First thing we need to do is remove the tyre and the tube from our wheel. It's just a standard mountain bike wheel. We're going to use a standard tyre as well, don't need to use a tubeless tyre for this. We need to clean the rim, so some soapy water and a sponge. A good clean all the way around. For the next step, we need to take an inner tube. This is a 20-inch, so BMX size tube, a Schrader valve, and we need to inflate it slightly. Just enough so that it takes on its shape, like so. Next, take your partially inflated tube, fit the valve to the rim, and fit the tube onto the wheel, like so. Need to make sure it's central. There's this ridge, this seam in the middle, so I'll rotate it so that sits centrally between the rim walls all the way around, like so. With the tube mounted on the rim, we need to cut the tube all the way around in the very centre of the tube. So you need a very sharp Stanley knife, using this central seam as a guide. We'll make our cut and work all the way around the tube. Take your time, because you don't want to cut through the other side. So continue to cut all the way around, following this seam. You haven't got to be perfect. That's done. Once you're all the way around, to make sure the tube is folded over the rim, like so, all the way around. And that's effectively sealed our rim bed. The valve still sitting there. With the tube fitted, cut open, we need to clean all the chalk off the inside of the tube with some soapy water. This also lubricates the tube, which will help our tyre to slip into place. Next up, we need to lubricate the bead of the tyre that we're going to fit. Plenty of soapy water will help it to slip onto the rim. You mount it to the rim. As we mount it, we need to make sure that the tube stays in place. If it does slip over the edge of the rim, just pull it back before you fit the second bead. So you pay attention to the direction of the tread as well. Don't want to get it on the wrong way around. There we go, so that's the tyre mounted, the tube still in position. Okay, so with the tyre mounted, now we need to inflate it. You'll need a track pump for this, a hand pump isn't going to be man enough. preferably a trap pump with quite a large volume, so a mountain bike specific one would be ideal, because you need a lot of air to go in there as quickly as possible in order to seat it. A compressor will be ideal. If you don't have any of these, then you might be able to use a CO2 inflator. That can work. Okay, well, it seems that tyre is going to take air okay. Need to fill it with sealant, and it should seal up nicely. Now we know that this tyre will seat on this rim, we can add the sealant and get it inflated properly. If the tyre didn't inflate properly, there are things that we can try in order to get it to seat properly. The main thing is to take the tube off and fit more rim tape. That will pad it out, will make the tyre a tighter fit, and be more likely to be able to inflate it. As I say, this one's fine. So now we're going to add the sealant. We need to pop the bead off to add the sealant, or we can remove the valve core and inject it in that way. You might need tyre levers to remove part of the bead. If you do, try and push the tube in so you're not pushing down on the part of the tube which is going to seal the tyre against the rim, because if there's a hole in it, it will leak. Okay, so once we've got part of the bead removed, we can add the sealant. Most important part is to shake the bottle whilst it's upside down. Otherwise the particles which seal the hole in your tyre won't get in the mix. A fat tyre like this will take about 1.5 to 2 scoops. We'll use 2 here because it's likely that we'll lose some during the sealing process. We move that up to the top, we can refit the tyre. Like so. The tyre's mounted, sealant's in place, we just need to pump it up now. Success. We got that to about 40-50 psi. It's seated all the way around. You can see the line here on the just above the bead of the tyre. It's even all the way around the rim. There is some air leaking though. We can hear it. You can see some sealant bubbling out. We can fix that by moving the tyre around and shaking it to distribute the sealant. If there's any particular trouble spots, leave those down the bottom so the sealant will rest there. Give it a good shake and that should seal up nicely. Because this isn't a tubeless tyre, it's slightly porous anyway, the sealant will give it a coating, and that will prevent it from losing air. There's no hissing, all seems good. We now need to trim off the excess here, and we're pretty much good to go. When we're happy that we don't have any leaks, we can cut off this excess tube just to neaten it up, make it look a bit nicer. If you cut it really close, you'll have trouble reusing the tube. I prefer to leave a little bit of a gap. One side finished. Leaving a bit of excess also means that if you do manage to burp the tyre whilst you're riding, then you're likely to get it back on. If it's too tight, it can creep over the rim and you're a bit stuffed then. So that's it, we're all done there. It's a good idea to try and ride the wheel straight away. That will disperse the sealant on the inner wall of the tyre, will help seal it properly and mean it won't go down as quickly as if you didn't. You're ready to enjoy all the benefits of going tubeless for a fraction of the price. Cheers, thanks for watching, goodbye.